raining today. Now I'm going to give you guys a little bit of feedback on the Michelin P4S in the rain. And the Michelin Pilot Super Sports, you know, was a really good tire. But as the tire starts to wear, they become very loose, especially in the rain. You always had to be careful, especially with a lot of higher horsepower cars that I've owned. If you pushed it a little bit too hard, the car would just lose it. Same thing with a Pirelli P0 or any of the tires out there. So, I don't know, according to the manufacturer's specs, that this tire is supposed to be phenomenal in the rain. So we're going to see. I mean, it's starting to come down pretty heavy right now. And I'm not going to drive in winter mode. I'm going to drive in, you know, standard mode. And we're going to do some ABS panic stops as well to see how the car reacts. And we also have a lot of wet leaves on the road, on the local side roads here. Whatever noises you guys are hearing in the audio, it's from the rains slapping against the car. Alright, there was a bunch of wet leaves right there, and the car did not break loose at all. That's actually pretty impressive, as far as a little bit of a quick test. Alright, it broke a little bit there. Alright, let's see how it does when I hard accelerate here. Traction control, traction control. And it hooks up. That's actually the first time the traction control has ever intervened with me driving this car. Ever. Wow. So it totally pulls the power back and you can feel the ABS locking up the wheels. Alright, this guy's going down the wrong way. And I'm going to get on it. I mean, I'm going to get on it a little hard just because I want to see where the limits are. You know, that's really a good way to get comfortable with your car and the way the car is set up is, you know, do it when it's not too congested and, you know, when you have some open area. Like I said, it tries to brake a little bit, and then the tires just bite. Now with the Pilot Super Sports in the rain, right where I just did that, the car would kick out so bad that you would have to literally stop your throttle input because the car was just so hard to control. I mean, like I said, the Pilot Super Sport is a phenomenal tire under ideal driving conditions on the road or even on the track. Like I said, you know, when the temperatures drop or it gets a little wet out, that tire is very loose. And you just have to, you have to know the car. You have to know how to counterbalance that with your driving technique, with your throttle input, your braking, your steering, everything. But I still can't get over how good these tires ride. And as far as how much quieter the car is, even though we're on a lower aspect ratio tire size. I mean, I have total confidence right now in this car. Now with my GT Performance Pack, with all the coilovers and everything I did on it, with the Pilot Super Sports in this weather, I was not driving like this. I'll tell you that now. I mean, we're not, you know, another thing too is, you know, a lot of people are saying you're going to get a lot of tram lining with these tires. I don't feel any so far. I don't feel any tram lining in the rain, in the dry. Like the back end wants to kick out, you know, and like I said, the traction control is ready to save the day, but there's just so much grip on the 325 rear tires that it's pretty confident inspiring. Now we're on some concrete right now, and the concrete, if you guys, you know, live in Florida, you know, there's a lot of standing water on the surface just because of the drainage, you know, the drainage situation, and you tend to hydroplane a lot, and I'm not feeling anything right now. I didn't touch the tire pressure. I mean, we're still at 36 all the way around. You know, I'm doing like 80 miles an hour in the pouring rain, and the car is perfectly straight, perfectly confident. It's not all over the road. The back end's not kicking out. So overall, man, I got to tell you guys, you know, this new Michelin P4S, I think is a hell of a good tire. And it's unfortunate that they don't offer them in more sizes, because I think when I wrap up this video, I'm going to give you my final thoughts on this whole tire situation here, as far as what the pros and cons to everything are. And like right, this sharp turn right here, at 40 miles an hour with my GT Performance Pack, it was very nervous. I mean, look at this. You guys are seeing this live. No BS, man. I'm not driving this thing like your grandma. I'm pushing it. I'm pushing it hard in the rain. And I'm driving it just the same way I would drive it if it was sunny and warm out. So, because I'm pretty confident in the car and in the tires. And, you know, I think with the more aggressive offset and the bigger contact patch front and rear, I think the rain performance is just so much better on this car. I mean, you can see it. I mean, you can't even see out there. The visibility is really poor, and it is coming down. Now, there's a lot of standing water right where I am now, and I feel it under the car, but it's not pulling me. With the 305 in the front of this car, it's not pulling the car all over the place. Right there it did, because there was a little pothole. See, with the Pilot Super Sports, the way the thread compound is designed and the design of the tire, over here, where I just drove, it was kind of, you're fighting the wheel a little bit. And I'm not getting that right now. And that's a really, really good attribute. I mean, you can barely see out of this window. My God. Yeah, we're getting hit with a really, really bad storm today. We're supposed to get about 8 inches of rain. And, of course, they decide to take the car out in the worst part of it. But, hey, you got to see what this car is going to do with the wheels and tires, because there's millions of people out there that might watch this video one day, and they're going to want to know how this car fares with the weather. I can't wait for the winter, man. You guys are going to have a trip with some of the stuff that I do with this car. There's a lot of standing water over here, and you can see it in the cars ahead of us. Because the drainage situation over here is terrible. So when we get like 3 inches or more of rain, this whole area is flooded, completely flooded. The highways get shut down. But I just can't believe I'm not hydroplaning at all. And you can't see, but I'm just telling you, the highway drains are already flooded. And you can see up here, I'm gonna hit another one, and I'm gonna go right into it. I mean, look at that. The car was totally stable. Ah, this is awesome, man. This is really cool. Really, really impressed. I don't think I've ever driven this aggressively in the rain in any car that I've ever owned, because like I said, you know, I've had a lot of high horsepower cars, and always rear wheel drive. And you know, whether you had a PS2 Pilot Super Sport, the P0s, the Continental Sport Contact Sport 2s, you know, I mean, they were okay in the rain, but they weren't enough that you could drive it really, really aggressively. I mean, these cars on the highway are like so frantic right now because their cars can't handle the hydroplaning and everything else that's going on. I'm hitting it and it's just not breaking loose. And I'm gonna do some panic stops for you guys. I'm just gonna let the car in front of me get a little bit of away from me. We're gonna do some panic stops. I just want to see how this thing's gonna bite. We definitely got the tires up to temp. All right, here we go. Oh my God! Wow! That actually snapped my neck. Oh my God! All right, we gotta get the little this little guy out of the road. Come on. Wow! Oh my God! I mean, these tires just dig into the asphalt in the rain. Do it again. I'm 60 miles an hour. Jesus! Wow! I mean, I'm trying to get this car to break loose and do something stupid. I can't do it. I'm spinning the tires going uphill at 60. This is great. Wow. Guys, I hope you guys get some good feedback from this video, man, and take the time to watch it. I am blown away. I cannot get over what this tire is doing in the rain during a storm right now in New York, and I'm driving the smack out of it. We're gonna do another panic stop up here. Boom. I mean, just unbelievable. Unbelievable. The braking distance. I wish I had, like, you know, sensors around the car we could kind of test to see what the braking distance is between stock and between now. I mean, I tell you right now, there's a significant improvement. And I think in the dry, if you're going to be on the track, man, this tire is just going to bite when you're hammering it into the corners. Woo! Ah, this is great. All right, let me hit it again. Jesus. I really hope the camera could pick up how abrupt and quick the panic stops are at 50, 60, 65 miles an hour in this car, pushing it hard. And the ABS is so linear, the way it engages. It's not like, you know, some cars that don't have a really good ABS system. You know, you start hitting it, and if there's bumps in the road, the car starts skipping. Now your stopping distance like almost doubled for what it could have been because the ABS is just not programmed a certain way. But no, this car's ABS system is right. It really is. I'm gonna put it in sport mode quickly. We're gonna kind of see if that changes anything. Very impressed so far, guys. The Michelin Pilot Sport 4S is outstanding in the rain. Outstanding. It's outstanding in the dry as well. I mean, the tire, I mean, like I said, new tires come out very sparingly in the ultra high performance market. You know, when a tire company comes out with a tire, they kind of stick with it for a while. So when something new comes to market, you know, guys like me and some, you know, guys like you out there, you really want to know, is it going to be that much better, or is it just a, you know, rebranded same old thing? And I'm going to tell you, man, this tire is freaking no joke. Man, I'm blown away by it. I really am. I can't even, I'm like lost for words as far as what I can say about it. It's that freaking good. So we're in sport mode now. Let me just punch it quick. Yeah, it just hooks up. With the pilot, listen, I know this car. I've had it for 7 months. I know what it does in the rain with the Pilot Super Sports. And I never was driving it like this. And the few times that I did, I almost lost it several times. I mean, look at that. It's freaking insane. There we go. Brake, 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 brake. Oh my God. It's just stop after stop after stop. There is no fade. There is no, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, I can't even get the car to break loose. This is sick. I mean, maybe if it had an extra 300 horsepower, it probably could, but jeez. I mean, literally 60 miles an hour on a bridge with standing water in a storm. Stop. I actually did that on purpose with the steering wheel. Just kind of wanted to see what it was going to do. But, man. Am I impressed? Hell yeah. Dude, my neck is like snapping. Look at this. Again. Jesus. I don't think there's anybody that's gonna have this car with these wheels and tires is gonna do a video in the rain like this. I would love to see it, I'll tell you that. Alright, went a little sideways there. No, man, this thing just bites. Jesus. Woo! I'm breaking a sweat. Oh, man. I gotta pull over, and I gotta give you guys my final thoughts on this, because I can just drive around all day. I'm having too much fun right now. My God. Right into the water. Look at it. I mean, there's no hydroplaning. God, man, Michelin, I swear they make the best freaking tires. I'm telling you, I swear by them. They always did. I remember growing up, my dad used to tell me that. You know, in the early 80s, he used to always put Michelin tires in his cars. He's like, oh, they're the best tire, they're most expensive, but they're the best tire. And as I got in, you know, grew up and I got into the performance world, I tell you, man, it's the truth. They are the best tire, in my opinion. I don't think anybody, you know, there's some competition out there. Nobody's gonna touch this tire. No way. No way. Nobody's gonna touch this tire. So I'm just gonna pull over and give you guys my final thoughts on this whole Michelin P4S setup. I mean, I've been on the tires for 4 days, and I'll tell you, I sold these to someone already, and God, I'm gonna miss these things when I take them off in a couple of hours. doesn't. And that's in sport mode. It doesn't want to lose it. Incredible, man. Jeez. And this turn right here, I always lose it in the rain. I almost lost it a little bit there, but no, man, these tires hook. All right, let me just pull over. I'll give you guys my final thoughts. Oh, man. So, guys, you saw the video, the initial video when I put these wheels and tires on the car. All I can say is that they're fucking incredible, okay? I'm being 100% honest with you. This is from, I've driven on every tire, on every performance car. I cannot get over the improvements made by installing these tires in this car. Ride quality, comfort, the initial grip coming from the rear of the car. Yes, the offset, the more aggressive offset and the bigger contact patch definitely are going to help with that. But it's like the tire is so dynamic. Now, you just saw what I did in the rain, in the middle of a storm, driving the crap out of the car in standing water, hitting puddles, hammering it. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I've never driven on an ultra high performance summer tire in the rain like that ever. I mean, it's that damn good. So there's a couple of trade-offs to doing this on a GT350. Now, if you look at the tire sizes, they don't offer a lot of sizing for this car, or for any car for that matter. So that's an issue for some. Now, it's obvious that they're supporting the new 2018 GT Performance Pack because they have the OEM sizes available for that. And then they have, you know, sizes for Porsche and BMW and whatnot, but they don't have all of the direct crossover OEM sizes available yet. So the trade-off, if you have a GT350, there's two things you got to think about. Number one, the lower sidewall. And I'm going to tell you now, that lower sidewall, I'm hitting bumps, I'm hitting everything. It doesn't have any effect on the ride quality at all, or comfort level. It's actually more comfortable and more compliant than the OEMs with the 35 series aspect ratio of the tire. And that's just back to back from driving this car all these months and knowing what it does. So that's one thing you got to consider. You're going to have to step down to the lower sidewall. Now, some guys are saying, oh, it increases the wheel gap. All right, you got to take two things into consideration. This is on any car, not just this car. Slamming this car down, or any car down, where you have no fender well gap, that is not making the car better by any means whatsoever. You're actually changing the roll center. You're changing the entire geometry of the suspension. It's not making anything better. Ford spent a ton of money, millions of dollars developing these cars, this new S550 chassis. And I'm going to tell you, from owning, you know, one that was heavily modified and modifying a ton of them, this chassis doesn't like to be slammed. I'm just giving you my opinion. It looks cool. It looks great. But you got to take it in consideration. Why do you own this car? Are you owning it for flash and for bling? Or you're doing an upgrade like I did to enhance an already amazing performing car by making it that much better? So I think the guys out there that have this car, you know, that really love this car and understand it, they get it. That fender well gap, that doesn't mean anything to them. If they think that it's going to make an improvement in the stopping power, the cornering, the braking, everything else in this car is taken up to another level, you're going to say, screw the sidewall, who cares? Let me throw them on the car for now, whatever $1,200, $1,300 they cost, burn them up, do a bunch of track days, and maybe one day they'll come out with different sizes and we'll experiment with that. And that's pretty much how I am and how any real car guy is going to view this scenario. You're just going to throw them on, use it, love it, hate it, whatever it is, and you're just going to move on. If a new size comes out, you're going to try that. Maybe some guys are going to run a 305 square. Maybe some guys are going to do something more aggressive. We don't know. But, you know, even in 20-inch, I think they make this tire in like a 295 30/20. There might be guys that are going to put that on all four corners. And you know, the overall height of the tire is like 27.1 inches. whereas the factory is 27.3, 27.4. So that's probably the closest within spec of the Michelin Pilot P4S. So that's one thing to consider. The other thing is that, you know, people are talking about the ground clearance. Yes, I have hit the bottom of the car at high speeds a little bit easier, even in track mode, where I had the suspension at full stiff. And that's going to come into territory. You're not hitting the actual cosmetic piece in the front where it says Shelby. You're hitting the piece as it bends under and it's got the screws underneath. That's what you're hitting all the time. So it sounds a lot worse than what it is, but to be honest with you, just get used to it. Who cares? The piece is like 350 bucks. I showed a video how I fixed the front end of my car. Who cares? Drive the car, enjoy it. Do not let that stop you from doing a set of these wheels and doing a set of these tires, or even if you want to do different wheels. But put these tires on this car, man. My God, what an improvement. It is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I just can't say enough about it. Now, I also mentioned in my other video yesterday, the center of gravity of the car did change. That's because the sidewall height is like 7/8 lower. And that's just, you know, I posted a thumbnail in the video yesterday. You could see that. Now, I do feel, and I put my toe gauges on the car, my digital long anchor gauges, the toe of the car did change, okay? Now, I'm not keeping these wheels and tires on this car, so I'm not going to go crazy doing an alignment this week. But when I do put the new set on, you know, after the winter, I am going to dial the alignment back to factory spec. And to set the toe in this car is really easy. You know, it's not, you don't need any aftermarket parts. You don't need any cast or camber plates, none of that crap. But, you know, and like I said, with the lower center of gravity, I do feel a little things happening from the rear of the car, and that's because of the toe change. You got such a gigantic tire, you know, now you change the toe, even if it's like 1/4 of a degree on a car like this with that much tire, you're going to feel it. If you're really in tune with sports cars and setting up chassis and all of that stuff with racing, you'll get it. You'll understand what I'm talking about. But like I said, doing an alignment, not a big deal. I mean, most guys that put new wheels and tires in the car, they're going to do it anyway. So I just want to leave off this video. These tires are incredible. They're incredible in the dry. They're incredible in the rain. I mean, we're at like 45 degrees today and pouring out. I mean, this car did not miss a beat. You saw it. You saw the way the ABS is like spot on. It's so aggressive, the bite into the asphalt in the rain, that like it's actually hurting me to a point. It's like it's hurting my herniated discs in my cervical spine. That's how much it snaps my neck. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. So, like I said, if you guys got these tires, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't pushed them hard in the rain, go ahead and do it, man. You're gonna be impressed. You're really gonna be impressed. Post some feedback below in the comment section of this video. Anybody's got questions or comments, post them below, man. But you know, stay tuned, man. Got a lot more stuff coming from this car. Take care.
Thank you.